You are live. I guess I'm live. Let me see if I can get me up over here. It's not there. Let's try it again. There it is. All right. Listening in the shower. Dude, that's kinky, man. You don't have to admit that. Jenny's in the house. How you doing, Jenny? Jason, I'm glad you're here. Central Time killing me. Sorry about that, Jason. Hall and Ash is in the house. One of my Michiganders. How you doing? They're a Central Time person. Central Time rules. Trying to figure the delay right now. That's a pretty good delay. Richard Faircloth Outdoors is in the house. How you doing, Richard? Appreciate you stopping in. Yeah. Steve, what the heck is up with Grant? Listening in the shower. That's just weird. Jenny in the house. Doing good. Jason said, good afternoon. Thank you. Yep, good afternoon to you too, Jason. We got a crowd up in here already. Look at that. Getting crowded. In the hizzy. All righty. I'm going to give it another minute, get a few more people get in here, and we'll start jumping into some conversation. Some that are about particular to me, some that for all of us, and stuff that's going on out there. So we'll see what's going on. Everybody saying, hey. Well, sir, you could guess what's in this glass. You've watched my show more than one time. We got some Jack Daniels and Coke in the glass. That's my sipping drink for the live streams. And a lot of other times. I need to get a sponsorship with Jack Daniels and Coke, right? I'd be set then. I'm hoping Stanley Orchard pops in here pretty soon. It's always good for conversation, especially on YouTube subjects. Toast. What else? So we're going to talk about, I'll give you guys an update on my channel and sponsor deal stuff that's kind of in the mix right now. I don't want to jinx myself, but so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that kind of stuff in general, how you do it on YouTube without getting yourself in trouble, right? Because there's some things you can and can't do on YouTube dealing with sponsors or branding that can get, there's some things you can do that can get you in trouble. So we'll talk about that. Then we're going to talk about filming video crimes. I'll let you know what I mean when we get there. John, what is the format tonight? What topics are we doing? Oh, yeah, I got me a drink too, brother. La whiskey and sweet tea, brother, man. That sounds like almost like a Long Island iced tea. That's acceptable, Jason. That is acceptable. And I just went over the topics, hopefully. And then, of course, whatever anybody else wants to talk about. We might get through all of them. Hell, the very last one, if I get to it, we'll look and see what's in the box. I got one. We canceled it, and for some reason, they still sent it. So if you guys want to look at some fishing gear, we'll take a peek at what's in the box, too. I'm hoping Mr. Stanley Orchard pops in here because I got some of the stuff I want to talk about. I got some direct questions from him, or for him. But I can ask the group, and we'll figure it out our own selves. We'll figure it out our own selves, dang it. All right, let's jump into it. So, for me, I had told myself that I would not worry about getting sponsors or brand deals with companies until I got about 10,000 subscribers, right? And I'm sitting down at 1,500 and something. So that's going to be a while. However, last week it struck me that there was a particular product that I use a lot, and I've used it on my videos and even touted how much I like it on my videos. Of course, this is a cooking product. And I thought, you know what? They're a local Texas company. Why don't I just reach out to them? It's the worst I could do, right? All they can do is say no. So I sent them an email explaining, how much I like their products, how I use their products, who I am, my channel, the amazing growth spurt I'm having, right? Because I'm not as much in subscribers as it is views. I'm having, for me, it's pretty big having 2,000 views, in a short period, like 48 hours, consistently now. So I threw that out there, put it out there to them, and said, "Hey, Nick is in the house. How you doing, Nick?" And lo and behold, the next day, that's right, hold on, Ash. The next day, the CEO emailed me and said, "Contact me." So I'm like, "Oh shit, this is real now." And so I emailed him back. Do you prefer email contact or a phone call? And if phone call would between 2 and 5 p.m. be good. So at 2:05 p.m., he emailed me back and said, "Call me." So I called him. Nice guy. Said that he gets these calls and emails, 8 or 10 a day that he has to weed through for people looking for sponsorships and all that kind of stuff. And that's understandable. And that's why I was like, yeah, okay, I understand. So I'm figuring he's about to, burst my bubble. And then he said, I like what you do on YouTube, and it's positive. You're laid back. He goes, you kind of fit our mold. We're just old Texas boys and this and that. And I was like, oh shoot, it's getting real now. And then we got to talking. He loves fishing. We talk about fishing in Costa Rica and all this stuff. And he came to the part that I dreaded the most is when he said, "So I'm going to shut up now, and you tell me what you want." And I'm thinking, what do you say to that, right? Oh, I want you to, put a new motor on my boat and wrap my boat with your company name and sponsor all my fishing trips so I never have to pay for another fishing trip. And I talk about your what do you say to that? So I was like, well, maybe you send me some of your products that I haven't tried, and I get them out to my viewers and maybe give me a discount code. And he goes, oh yeah, that's easy stuff. We got merch, we got this and that and that. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I had set up a time to meet with him. It was supposed to be today at 1 p.m. or at noon today. And he had contacted me saying he had gotten sick over the weekend. And so now we're meeting tomorrow at sometime 11 a.m. So it's still, the suspense is killing me, Nick. I'm like, I'm looking forward to it. He said, we're going to meet. I'll get you over to our marketing people and this and that. And I still don't know. It sounds really good. He, at one point, he fishes in Costa Rica every year. He goes down there for a trip. And at one point, he said something about sponsoring my channel, sponsoring me to do a video down there with him. Now, if he's being honest, I'm in. Sign me up, boys. We'll go down to Costa Rica. If you're footing the bill and I'm videoing, I'm in. So that's, way up here dreams, and reality is, who knows what reality is until we have a meeting tomorrow. So again, I was hoping we would have had the meeting today, and right now I'd be telling you guys the deal, what's going on. So now we got to wait because I don't meet till tomorrow. So we'll see. Yeah, that would be cool, Nick. That would be real cool. So that's what's going on with me. So tomorrow I find out. What have I done lately? I posted a video today. And I guess it was a little misleading, even though in the video I talked about how cold it would be. It was a prep for a fishing trip, prepping for a fishing trip video. That was actually a video I shot back in January, preparing for a trip. And then I was sharing that with my Patreons at the time. Now, I canceled my Patreon thing, so the video's sitting out there. I'm like, heck, let me share it with everybody. So that's what that video is. So there were a few people who are like, oh man, I can't wait to see how the fishing trip went. It's already out there, right? My video where I talk about slaying the white bass, that was that trip. And then the mixed bag on Choke Canyon with that big bass surprise catch at the end. Those two videos were from that trip. So I appreciate you guys watching it. I didn't think it would mislead people because I was talking about how cold it was going to be, and it is not cold here in Texas no more, right? It's summertime here. So I figured people would just put two and two, but I understand a wider audience. They don't know what our weather is here. So that's the case. That video is actually filmed either January or February. I think might have been January even. Jason said, I understand what you were saying. Some of my bass fishing buddies, they talk about contingency money a lot. But their products, you pay when you win. Tough game. You got to be damn good. My thoughts. Yeah, I agree. Jason, be right back. Fix on the drink guy. Completely understand, Jason. Yeah, so that's my thing. So Stanley still has not jumped in here. I really wanted to get his input on this next piece. So a while back, we did talk about sponsorships and branding and stuff like that on YouTube and what you can and can't do. And I researched it then because I was interested, and I think Stanley was one of our prime commenters, right, during the video. I might even had him up on the video with me. I don't remember. But I went back and re-engaged that, okay? When you have ads in your video, not the ones that YouTube places, but a deal you made, you tagged them good, Jenny, a deal you made with a business, whether they give you, hey, here's $200 to sponsor your video, or hey, here's a bunch of product to give out to people and you to wear or whatever to use during your video, right? You're being paid. So that's a paid ad placement by you, okay? So YouTube says when you go to upload that video, you got to go into a certain setting. It's the advanced or more options, I think it's called. Matter of fact, I got it over here on this screen. And there's a box you have to check that says video contain paid promotion. It's under content declaration. If you're going to have a sponsor or somebody, a giveaway or anything like that where somebody's providing you something, you have to check that box, okay? And so I was worried I check that box and I'm not going to get ads on my videos, and it's not the case. They're still going to place ads against your video. All that's doing is letting YouTube know that you already have a deal with somebody. And so let's say my deal was with somebody who made barbecue sauce, right? So I'm promoting brand X barbecue sauce on this video. Well, YouTube wants to look and make sure they don't have brand Z barbecue sauce ad that they're planning to place on your video, because then you got, conflicting ads within your video. So they don't want to do that. So they'll put something else. So it's not a matter of, oh, if you're going to put your own ads, we're not putting no ads. You're still going to get the same ads and all that. The only other difference is they won't place it on their YouTube for Kids, right, program. But most of my videos, I don't think make it into YouTube for Kids anyways. And if they do, okay, but that doesn't do anything for me. So I'm not worried about that. So you still get your ad revenue and all that if you're doing ads, if you're monetized, right? You're just letting YouTube know. And then there's some other stipulations, like I could put and you've seen, I hate to talk about Stanley, who's not here yet, but you've seen him with the swag, that saltwater wear, whatever, and they provide him clothing, and he puts their little emblem up and says that. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to let people know, hey, this is sponsored by, or we promote this product, right? That's truth in whatever it's called. I don't remember. and you can put their logos up and stuff like that. What you can't do is they said, hey, we made this commercial that's 10 seconds long, and you just put this in the middle of your video. You cannot do that. If you do that, and YouTube's going to take your video down. If you do it multiple times, they're going to get the kaboot off of YouTube, because that conflicts with their ad system, right? So I can talk about who it is. I can tell you that all the great things about them. I can put their little logo up for 10 seconds or whatever, but I can't inject a pre-made advertisement of theirs in there. And then there's certain people you can't use, like if they're pornographic, violent, racist, any of those type of things. YouTube's not going to let you support, right? Which people I know ain't going to support them anyways. All right, let's see. Holland Ash says, I wondered about that. I don't technically get paid. I just get free product counts the same as getting paid, brother. So you should be letting people know that you're getting it, and you're allowed to put their banner up there and everything, even if you're not monetized. Hey, John, a good friend of mine said he needed to have 1,000 followers to stay on YouTube. Is this still a policy? That is not a policy. There's a couple things. 1,000 followers do you two things. First, it gets you where if you have 1,000 followers, subscribers, right, and 4,000 watch hours within the last year, right, then you can be monetized, okay? The other thing is you need 1,000 subscribers to go to live stream on a phone or something like that. Okay, so on your device, you can still live stream on a computer, but on a device, you need 1,000 subscribers to live stream. So if you're not live streaming and you're not monetized, you can have 10 subscribers or 10,000. It doesn't matter. All right. So that's it. That the 1,000 subscribers. That's the importance of them. No, I know plenty of people with less than 1,000 subscribers. They're not going nowhere. Okay, great. Thanks for clarification. I never looked into it. Yeah, no problem, man. Just like when they had the whole Kappa thing, and oh my God, kid content, and they're going to kick everybody off YouTube. You can't say this, and it's all overblown, right? It was all overblown, and that's another one of those things. A lot of people thought, hey, YouTube's just going to kick everybody off under 1,000 subscribers. Not the case. Not the case, especially if you're getting the views. Subscribers are important, but to YouTube, they want the views, because you get enough views, it's more important for them. So, have you been fishing? Well, no, I have not been fishing. Last time I went fishing was that last trip down to the river, and it's just been hard to get out there. I might get out there this weekend on Saturday. We'll see if I can sneak in a fishing trip. And then after that, we had the grandkids this weekend. We get them again, not next weekend, but the weekend after. But the cool thing is the weekend after that, my wife said, hey, let's go to the coast. I'm like, what? It's not a long weekend or nothing. Nope, let's go to the coast. We'll get our oldest daughter who lives here in San Antonio. She'll go with us. What are we going to do? Go to the beach. We can surf fish. What? Okay, I'm in. So I know in 2 weeks, I'm going to be going to Padre Island National Seashore and doing some surf fishing. So there'll definitely be video from that. There'll be some catch, clean, and cook too, because the potential sponsor I'm talking about happens to be a spice maker that I use. Oh, he shows up. Stanley, man, I just suffered through all the difficult sponsorship rules and all that, hoping you'd be here to back me up with your big, ginormous brain on YouTube, and you weren't here, brother. But I think we survived. But I'm glad you're here now, Stanley. I do appreciate you being here. Jason says, it seems to me everyone is trying to sell something these days. Oh, yeah. In your opinion, what sets an account apart, really makes it stand out? Just when you're talking about a YouTube account, For me, content. You're just talking about, and you're not talking about products. You're talking about YouTube accounts. Better late than never. That's right, Steve. Content, right? And when you talk about content, look at the people you like, the channels that you like. Deer Meat for Dinner, Young Bloods. There's a bunch of them out there, and the ones you can constantly watch their videos. One, it's typically the personality of the individual, right? You like that person, and then secondly to that is the quality of the audio and video. There's a fishing couple, I'll say it that way, down in Florida who I like a lot. This individual is former military like me. They do a lot of cool stuff. They just started. I think they're in their second year now. But watching some of their stuff recently, and it's like, why aren't you guys upgrading? They're big. They're a lot bigger than I am. They have a really good following, but they have not improved their audio and video capabilities. So you still get some questionable video and poor audio. Matter of fact, I was watching a video today, and I actually like I said, they've been one of my favorite channels, but I just stopped and went and watched something else because their audio was so poor. And in my mind, I couldn't wrap around. You guys are growing so fast. You're a big channel now. Why are you not improving your capabilities? We got guys in here. Me, I'm 1,500. Stanley's 3,000. There's guys in here under 1,000 that understand. Hey, you want good quality audio and good quality video. Yeah, sometimes you look at my videos, you'll see there's somewhere, I had an audio issue or video issue, and I still put it out there. It happens, but for the most part, we understand how to improve, or that we need to improve those things, and these people don't. So so the personality and then their video and audio quality, those are the things for me. Oh, interested. Oh, ever. Sounds like a perfect time. Yeah, you missed all the hard stuff. Jason, personality, hit it on the head, good stuff. Yeah, I think that's number one. You have my full attention now. Hey, everyone. Hey, Grant's in. He's done taking his shower, folks. Grant was listening to us while showering. Yeah. Stanley says, personally, I find it very reassuring to see really big channels who do not invest in better audio, video, and editing. It means there's room for the rest of us. Okay, Stanley. I don't know if I agree. I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Hawn Ash, rub a dub dub. Grant's out of the tub. Good one. Good one, Steve. No, but it caused me to stop watching them. You know what I mean? And Stanley says that, but Stanley, if you watch his videos, 98% of the time, through editing or whatever, his audio and video is spot on 99% of the time. So, I'm talking really bad audio. I'm talking about, hey, take a GoPro, put a waterproof case on it. This is one of the old GoPros, right? So that there's that's how good the audio is. And you're like, get a microphone. You're on a boat. It's not raining. You don't need a waterproof. Get a microphone. Get a little wind chingadera so that you don't have constant wind noise. It's just some of those things. I guess maybe I'm getting old and grumpy, but it surprises me. Stan saying, hey to Sting, congratulations on your news. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you, Grant. Appreciate it. Stanley, you already heard the meeting I was supposed to have today got pushed to tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. We talked about some of the legalities of sponsorship and branding. That little block you got to check if you got somebody giving you products or paying for your stuff. So yeah, dead cat. Then again, when they're this small, Stanley, I call them a dead mouse. But yeah, that's exactly what it's called, dead cat. All right, what else? Would you post a YouTube video of you committing a crime? Yes, no? Let's see. I'm waiting. The silent time is me waiting for you guys' responses because there's a delay. Of course, Steve says no. Anybody in their right mind is going to say no. All right, so be aware of what you're doing and what you're filming. Okay, I'll give you a couple examples. Would you post a video of you or someone you're with committing a crime, doing something illegal? Possibly I plead the fifth. Minor infraction. Jason's honest. I like that. Okay, so let this. Man, there's a big delay today. Jenny said no, and I agree. No. Stanley, nope. Grant, hell no. All right, so let me give you some examples, folks, of what I've seen recently. Today, I was watching a fellow Texas YouTuber, very popular, much bigger than me, of course. I love his videos. He does a lot of stuff. He's fishes, but he also hunts a lot. He's does a little bit of gardening. He's got some rabbits, whatever. Good channel. And today, him and his buddy went crappie fishing, and they they got 19 crappie. That's a good day of crappie fishing, right? So they go back to his buddy's place, who happens to have their own pond with fish in it, and he's cleaning these crappie. And he cuts out when you fillet it, and then you cut out the ribs, and then he threw the ribs in the water, no problem with that. And he said, "Hey, you guys want to see a big bass? Watch this." And throws it in, and I guess they got like a 9-pound bass in there that lives around that dock. And he didn't come up and eat it, so he's like, "Well, we'll have to chum them up." So then his buddy takes some of that piece, the rib piece, hooks it on a hook on a rod, and puts it in there to entice the bass. And then didn't purposely hook the bass, but he did hook the bass. You know what I mean? He didn't mean to, but he hooked the bass. In the state of Texas, it is illegal to use game fish for bait, any part of a game fish. If I take the eyeball out of a crappie and use that as bait, that's illegal in Texas. So these guys just videoed their buddy illegally using game fish for bait. It doesn't matter if it's on a private pond, because crappie didn't come from the private pond. It came from a public lake. Did they do that on purpose knowingly? No, I'm sure they had no clue. But if the authorities view that, they definitely could bring charges against that individual. So that's just an example of be aware of what you're doing and what is allowed and what's not allowed. I've got a second one for you that I see all the time. Catch a fish, foul hook, a nice crappie, catfish, whatever. Hey, throw them in the box. In Texas, and there's a lot of states like this, so check your own regs. In Texas, if you foul hook a fish, you must release that fish, whether it's a keeper size and all that. If you foul hook it, it is not hooked in the mouth. It must be released. So yeah, somebody might foul hook a catfish and just throw it in the box, but you videotaping yourself foul hooking that fish and throw it in the box, you just gave evidence to the law of you breaking the law. So just be aware of what you're allowed to do and not allowed to do. In editing, you can, hey, edit that piece out if you got to. But yeah, because Stan says, ouch, there's no gray area for the law. That's right. But that was a dumb mistake. It was, because, it's just the riblet, but yeah, it's still illegal. Jason, chumming using game fish is questionable in some jurisdictions. Videos are evidence. Yeah, and chumming with game fish in Texas freshwaters is very illegal. So it's amazing the number of people I see, especially the foul hook fish, throw it in the ice box. Definitely check your regulations and see what they say before you put something like that on a video. Everybody seems to agree with that too, so that's good. So at least now you guys know, especially my fellow Texans, don't show catching or shooting over the limit. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, no brainer. Exactly, Grant. Stanley, I've made mistakes. Oh, yeah, we all have. They happen. But you got to be prepared to delete that video if it gets seen. Yeah, if once you've realized, hey, you know what, I'm showing something that shouldn't be on video, yeah, you need to get rid of that. All right, take it down. Stuff does happen, but take it down. All right, what else we got to talk about? You guys got any topics other than Stanley? Stanley, you put out video today, didn't you? Oh, I'm getting so mixed up. There's so much stuff going on for me today that I know saltwater fishing, island life fishing. He did that premiere on catching barracuda. That was cool. I watched that one today. Steve Ash did a premiere catching walleye, catching all the dang walleye. Save some for when I get up there, Steve. Who else put out videos today? Stanley, you did it. No, you put a video out yesterday. That's right. Stanley's video was out yesterday, and it was a better video because his wife actually pretty much took control of the video for the most part, at least early on when they were catching. And he ate a fish that 9 out of 10 people, if not 10 out of 10, are going to throw back. But they gut hooked it, so he said, hey, why waste it? We'll try it. And he said it turned out good, so now I'm not afraid to eat one. But I'll let you go see the video and see what it was. Jason, good stuff, John. Most of us are caring sportsmen. Yeah, and do our best to follow law. I think about the example you're setting for kids. Exactly. Robin fish. Yep. That was a good one. I enjoyed that one, Stanley. Who else? Who else got videos out there? I know some people have been posting videos, and I've probably seen them in the last couple of days, but man, it's just been so much going. We've had the grandkids here the whole weekend from Friday through Monday, and it was just like helter skelter. Grant can't believe he didn't have a limit, even with being given 6. Oh, I think I missed what you're talking about, Stanley. I must have missed whatever you're talking about, or not Stanley, Grant. That's whatever you're talking about. I missed it, but that's probably good. I missed it. I'll scroll up and see for a minute. I don't know. Yep. Jason, I do miss saltwater. It's been a while. Halifax and Indian River in Florida, real cool. Man, I love saltwater. I wish I was closer. We're about 2 to 3 hours from the coast, depending on where you're going on the coast. If I lived there, I'd be there all the time fishing. But it's hard because where we're at, it's like, well, if I'm going to the coast, I'm not doing a run down there in the morning, fish all day, and run home and die on the road somewhere. I'm too old for that shit. So I'm going to go down there and stay a night. So now we got to plan it out. Where are we going to get lodging? So we plan it out, and then weather's horrible that weekend. Well, the locals don't have to worry about that. It's like, hey, we're going fishing this weekend. Oh, the weather's bad. We'll wait till next weekend because we ain't got to worry about lodging and all those plans. So I'm jealous of the folks who live down on the coast. But it is what it is. I can fish around here locally too. See, he's talking about me. Oh, somebody gave you 6 fish and you still didn't reach your limit. Dang, Steve, I didn't catch that part. That's another thing. You guys want to hear my story of breaking the law when I was a rebel and got busted? All right, so back yonder in 1992-ish, I was a young soldier stationed at Fort Bliss, Texas, which is El Paso, the armpit of the United States. My family's from New Mexico. So my brother up in Albuquerque said, "Hey, let's meet up in Ruidoso area, and there's a little lake we fish up there, trout fish, and we go on deer hunt. It was deer season." So me and my brother meet up, and we spent about 4 days there hunting, and no much luck on the hunting, and fishing. And I did better than him fishing, and I caught a certain number of fish, and he caught like less. And so when it was time to leave, he's like, "I don't want these 4 fish," I think it was. He goes, "I'll just give them to you." I'm like, "Cool, I'll take them." They're all trout, right? Rainbow trout. So I'm heading home back to Texas, and they got one of those roadblocks that they set up at that time of the year in that area. And there's game wardens and border patrol, right? The game wardens are checking you for deer, make sure you didn't shoot a deer illegally, that kind of stuff. And of course, I had no deer or anything. And I was like, "Hey, the only thing we did was catch some trout." I said, "I got some in the cooler if you want to see them." The guy was like, "Sure, okay, I'll see them." So I opened up the cooler, and he counts the trout. And what I had in there ended up being, okay, so you have your daily bag limit you're allowed. And then you have your total you're allowed. Don't matter if you're fishing 2 days or 10 days, you're only allowed this many fish until you get to the casa, right? Well, I was 2 fish over that number, okay? So I didn't catch more fish than my brother gave me 4. So really, it was my brother's fault that I was over the limit. This guy was called in from a different jurisdiction to help out. And so he was like, "Cool." He goes, "Let me go talk to the captain here, though, and make sure." And the captain was like, "Nope, right on the citation." So it cost me $100 and something. What they did was, "Hey, here's your court date." So I go back to Fort Bliss and say, "I got to go back up here in New Mexico for court." They're like, "What? Bad soldier." And so I go to this court, and in the meantime, I did some research, and somebody can donate you fish or whatever, game, even if you're not licensed, right? They could donate it to you, but they have to do a written thing where they donate it to you. So I was like, okay. So I get up there, and the judge says something about my plea, and I said, "I plead no contest. However, judge, based on the game laws," and I got the little game law manual. My brother donated these fish to me, and he can legally do that. He just didn't write me a note, but I could get a note. And the judge said, "Stop." He goes, "I apply the minimum penalty for this type of violation. But if you want me to research these game laws, we'll have to come back another day, and the penalty might not be as minimum." And so I was like, "I'm good, judge." And so that was 130 something. Then I was a young soldier. That was a lot of money. It was 130 something bucks. And I went back home with my tail between the legs. So yeah, I didn't know the law. I knew how many I was allowed each day. I didn't catch over that, but we were there for like 4 days, and my brother gave me just enough fish to put me over that 2 day limit for one person. Uh, and it didn't matter whether he gave them to me or not. The law says no, unless you have that letter. I didn't have the letter, and I was busted. Dun, dun, dun. Criminal. It's always a brother's fault, Stanley, especially older brothers. They're the worst. You caught crap for not getting your limit. Stanley, if I caught crap for not catching my limit when fishing, I would probably catch crap every time I go fishing. Then again, if I'm fishing for crappie, the limit's 25. So, in catfish, the limit's 25, unless it's flatheads, then it's 5. Um, so, yeah, okay, I understand. Did you at least eat them? Yeah, actually, they didn't confiscate them. So, yeah, I took them, I brought them home. We had 8 trout for a few days. So, we did eat them. Steve, will save those for when I'm up there in Michigan with you, brother. I don't want you to incriminate yourself. Where are we at here? Oh, we're doing good. All right. Anybody else got a topic for the group before we move on to real boring stuff? We talked about my update on what I'm doing as far as sponsorship, what I'm dealing with. We talked about the legalities of it on YouTube. There's that block you got to check when you're uploading the video saying that there's paid whatever in the. We talked about videoing, committing a crime, whether you know it or not, and putting it out there for everybody to see. It was a bad young. Oh, we'll share stories, Steve, because when I was young, I didn't know there were rules. You know what I mean? No, I didn't have the guy telling me what I can and can't do. We just did stuff, and later I found out that hey, I probably did some stuff that wasn't legit. But thanks, Jason. Yeah, you're right. Most unlimited they are plenty. Take what you need. I very seldom. Okay, when I'm freshwater fishing, I am 98% catch and release. You know, there's times when I go, hey, I want to get some crappie or some catfish for a fish fry or something. I'll keep some fish. But other than that, I'm typically catch and release freshwater. Now, saltwater, since I don't get down there very much, and a lot of them are really tasty victuals. If they're legal, and I haven't caught my limit on anything down there yet, but I've caught trout, caught sheep's head, I've caught, reds, I've caught snapper, just not a limit of any of them. So I'm keeping them because those are delicious fish and they're well within my limit. I'm going to keep those bad boys. But yeah, on the freshwater side, I do a lot of catch and release just because I can fish more often because it's right here, within a 40-minute drive of the house for most of it. Steve's got to run. All right, Steve, brother, I appreciate you coming and hanging with us this long. We got to go make some dinner or something, I'm sure. Yeah, Stanley. Yep, yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful what you say. Everything you say and do can and will be held against you in a court of law type stuff in the internet. Once you put it there, sometimes even if you think you deleted it, it's still out there. People have ways of getting it. So yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah, Grant, I don't think since I've been here on these lakes local, I've caught a limit. I've caught, 5, maybe 8, 10. That's plenty. Yeah, I wouldn't want to sit there and clean 25 freaking crappie. Yeah, I'd be tired. I know what you mean about tired. Yep, absolutely. Heck, catfish. We used to catch our limit or real close to it on a couple of lakes here. Man, just standing there cleaning 20 something catfish. No thanks. Where you out? All right. Nobody's coming up with any other ideas to talk about. So, do we want to go ahead and check out and see what's in the old salt box, tournament grade, quality equipment for the saltwater angler? This is not a plug for this particular vendor or products. There's been no money exchanged or products given to me. We bought this. I actually got one box because I thought that's all I ordered was one. I'm pretty sure that's all I ordered. And then I got an email saying, hey, your other box is about to ship. And I emailed them back and said, hey, I didn't order a second box and don't charge me, which they did. Give me my money back and thank you very much. And they said, well, we're sorry. We're going to give you your money back and we're not going to ship the other box to you. And I said, well, thank you. And then what they do, they ship the box anyways. All right. So the first box, I did the same thing during one of our lives. We looked at it. And the Mystery Tackle Box Pro inshore was just that, a lot of inshore stuff. But these ones, they're just a salt box, so it's really not just inshore. They got a lot of offshore type stuff, which I don't have the opportunity to use right now because I don't get to offshore fish. So, but hopefully, not too distant future, I may get to. So what we got? So here, this is from Soft Lure, right? It is from, it's their own brand, right? Coastal saltwater. Um, you got to see that. I like these, right? I'm definitely going to fish these inshore. You take them out of the box. I've got one of them open already, I think. Do I haven't opened one of those? Baby, maybe I don't. Oh, let's open them. For you guys, I'll do anything. I think there were some of these in the last box, to be honest with you. There it is. Now, yeah, that's just a little protector. So there it is. Look at the action in that tail. You got a little bit of red in them, kind of dark, blackish on top, translucent on the bottom. He's got the weight is inside him right here, right? So he's weighted. Don't have had no weight. That, right, will catch some inshore fish. That'll catch reds. That'll catch trout. That'll probably, if you bounce it on the bottom, kind of like a mud minnow, you're probably going to catch some flounder with it. So I'm really looking forward to trying that one out. Now, put these guys back in here properly. Okay. The cool thing is they gave me 2 packs of them, right? This pack that I just showed you and another pack, the exact same thing. So now I got 2 packs. I got 4 of those. You lose one, right? Snag up. Cool. So that's pretty neat. Saltwater has all the cool stuff, right? Exactly. What could you use your expertise on Star Tournament info? I joined it for the first time last year. Didn't get to fish enough, and this year I don't know if I'm going to join it just because I'm not going to get fish down there. I'm a member of CCA, but I'll probably join it just because who knows, right? It's just awesome the idea of getting a truck and boat to win. All right, they throw in a decal lobster slapper. I don't know what that means or what that is. Okay, now a saltwater assassins. I've heard of these. These ones are their shrimp cocktail, root beer red glitter. Root beer red glitter shrimp cocktail. So let's take one of those out. These thrown on the jig head. Oh man. Okay. They're resealable, so it's okay. Open it up. So it's an imitation shrimp, right? You see the tail. But look at that dude. Oh, he's probably going to get beat up. He's really soft plastic. So after a few bites, he's probably going to get tore up. But if you look, he's got the little space for the hook right in the belly. Okay. So that's a really good soft plastic. You're definitely going to catch, again, reds, trout. Bounce it on the bottom, right place, right time, flounder. Okay. So that's 2 things of lure so far that I'm like, I'm in. I'm going to use that stuff. Okay. Now, they sent us some jig heads. These are double barred jig heads from Mission Fishing Lure Company. Okay. They're a 3/0 hook and a 1/4 ounce weight. I like that. They're 1/4 ounce. Sometimes inshore is a little heavy. But I have used 1/4 ounce weight. So I will definitely have these in the tackle box, right? They should work just fine. Now we go. One thing this box doesn't do that the mystery tackle box does is it gives you a little list of all the stuff and a retail price, what it would have cost retail, which we very unoften do we actually pay retail. But this one is the Coastal Fishing Company, so it's their own brand again. Saltwater tournament grade quality equipment, and it really doesn't give you a name of what this lure is or any information about how this lure works. So let's open it up, see what it is. Here's what it looks like. If you guys haven't seen it already, kind of looks like a perch. Looks like something I might use up there in the Great Lakes. Oh, Steve left already. But yeah, it definitely has perch colors, like not Texas perch where you call every small fish a perch, but an actual perch, right? But if you look, it's got that little front end on it. So I'm thinking Doesn't have a lot of weight. It's got some rattles. I'm thinking it's something you're popping so that that front hooked end is making a big splash. Not quite a top water, probably submerges a little bit. I would throw it just to see what it does. I have no idea how good it's going to be, right? But it's a pretty cool little lure. And just having the rattles in it adds to it for the salt. I learned quick that saltwater lures, you need rattles. All right. So this next, are we out of focus? Whoop, whoop. Focus over here, camera. What happened to our focus, guys? Let me catch up with you guys over in the comments real quick. Like saltwater boats, reels, and tackle made for sailing still, last a long time up here. Yeah, you can't say collegiate, but love their gear. Yep. As well as coastal sunglasses. Yeah. Good taste. Yeah, I early on, I don't know why that camera's focus is really bad right now. Oh, that's better. That was crazy. I early on, I broke a reel, an Akuma reel, which I liked Akuma. I had a lot of Akuma reels. But where it broke, I realized it was plastic instead of metal. And so I said, you know what? As much as I fish, I don't want to lose fish because of something like that. And so I went out and I started looking at pin. And since then, I've been a fan of pin reels because you don't have all that plastic and all that on them. They're made for saltwater, and I'll use them at the coast when I'm there, and I'll use them on the lake when I'm at the lake because if it's good enough for saltwater, you know it's good enough for freshwater. So it's a good multi-use type thing. So, I like pin. You can like Shimano, whatever. I don't care. But yes, it's a good point. Saltwater gear holds up. You know it's going to hold up better if it's able to hold up against saltwater. So, good point. All right, so then I got a bunch of the saltwater fishing lures, Captain's Choice, okay? So, some beads on there, a hook, and a spinner, right? So this is some kind of trolling rig, okay? Again, it doesn't give you information how to use it. Too bad Sea Pro Fishing isn't in here. He might be able to school, or even Stanley might be able to give us an idea. This is a double dropper rig, so you got two hooks, a big swivel, so you can put a weight on one end, main line attached to the other end, cast it out there, and you got two baits out there. Okay. Another double dropper rig, nothing to look at. Another one. So this is just how many of them you get. This is another one of those trolling rigs. Another trolling rig. These are all done with mono though, so toothy critters might tear these up. Trolling rig. Trolling rig. Trolling rig. So we got a bunch of those. So a whole bunch of stuff. All right, moving on. This one's real interesting. This is from Strike King. So I mean, if you fish for a few days, you've heard of Strike King, right? Stanley going all in on pin. I agree. That's almost all I have. I got a few old ones that aren't pin. This is their Redfish Magic Spinnerbait. Okay, so some of this stuff you could probably use in freshwater, just like you do saltwater and catch fish. But this one I really like. It depends on the weather conditions, whether you're going to use, shiny silver or gold. But this is a nice looking spinnerbait with a real nice looking paddle tail, right? A lot of sparkle in it. Got that nice spinner on it. Redfish will love that bad boy. So that should be a very good bait. Okay. So that's all the baits I got in there. However, the one thing both boxes had in it that surprised me, and so I'm assuming they have an association with Cabela's, but maybe they don't, because we got Strike King and other brands of stuff over here. But a box to put your tackle in, right? So, like I said, I got two of these saltwater coastal boxes, and both of them came with one of these boxes to put the tackle in. Which, of course, the other one, right? You don't get that kind of stuff. So it has a lot of inexpensive stuff. These things are, I can make these for less than $1. So I'm sure they're pretty inexpensive. But they give you a bunch of them, right? And then they gave you, hey, we're going to throw in one lure that probably costs a few dollars, right? Nice lure there. You saw it already. Throw in a good spinner bait. Throw in some other self-weighted soft plastics, which are going to catch fish for sure. And then throw in some plastics, a decal, some decent jig heads. And that's it. That's the box. Now, this thing, I think, was around 20-something bucks for the box. So, but yeah, that's the stuff I probably will not use because I have no use for it is all this stuff, right? The trolling stuff and the double drop rigs. I got my own. So, if I find somebody who fishes the salt that likes that kind of stuff and wants it, they can have it. The other box had some real nice skirts and squids. So that one, I'm going to be fishing with Wayne, Sea Pro Fishing, in October. So I plan to bring that stuff with me and give it to him because he can use that stuff where I don't get a chance to. Maybe we can use it while I'm there. I'm not sure. Based on the timing, he said that is a time where they're going after tarpon, which is a bucketless fish. So if he wants to take me tarpon fishing, I'm down. Put me on a tarpon. I'm down. It'll probably kick my butt, but I'm down for it. All right, folks. We're drawing down for the night. I love doing this just because I get a good group in here. We all have shared interests. We can all learn from each other. Use it for a 100 subscriber giveaway for this channel. That's an idea. I'm down. I think I got 45 subscribers on this channel. I don't push it out much, but it would be nice to get this channel built up a little more. It'd be nice to have 20 or 30 outdoor related YouTubers in here on the live stream talking about the kind of stuff we're talking about. That would be cool. But yeah, that's a good call, Grant. I'll put together a package including some of that stuff. So, like I did with yours, I like to, when I did do my giveaways, I haven't done one in a long time. Hint, hint, if I get this sponsor, I will be doing some. Anyways, I would tailor it to the person. Like Grant one, he does a lot of panfish fishing, crappie fishing, so I send him that kind of stuff. Excuse me. And then I had a gentleman down in Louisiana win one. He does a lot more salt fishing, so I tailored it with saltwater gear for him. So we'll see who wins. We'll see what they get. Well, that's a very good idea, Grant. All right, 2 minutes. What you got coming out this week, folks? Who has videos coming out today, tomorrow, this weekend, Friday? Any live streams? Stanley, you doing one of your lives anytime soon? What's going on? Now's the time. Put it in the chat so everybody knows what's going on. I will be doing nothing until Monday's live. No, I might be fishing Saturday. That's a lie. But on YouTube, I won't be doing anything until next Monday. Anything, folks? Anything? Bueller? Grant says the lake opens Friday. It sucks that the lake was closed, but that's cool. Get there early because it's probably going to be crowded. Very cool. Look forward to seeing that. All right, folks. 1 minute. We're shutting down. Say your goodnights. Thank you, Jason, Jenny, Steve, Stanley, Grant, right? Nick popped in for a while, hung out with us. Jenny already said. So yeah, it was another great live stream. I appreciate you all coming in. That's what makes it more interesting. Stanley's got a 360 coming out Thursday and hoping to go live at some point. So just keep track of Stanley Orchard. If you're not already following him on YouTube, what's wrong with you? Fix that. All right, folks, that is it. I will see you next Monday. If I don't see you before then, you all have a great night and the rest of your week. Peace out.